When I was wasted, I accidentally hooked up with a girl in black fishnets. When I sobered up, I wanted to do the right thing and take responsibility, but I didn't expect her to treat me like a gigolo. She even left a tip. When I showed up for my first day at the new company with that tip in my pocket, I literally wanted to die. Because the cold, stunning female CEO sitting right in front of me was the exact same girl I had a wild night with. Lying in the king-size bed at the Econ Hotel that morning, I struggled to open my eyes. I was totally alone in the massive Sweden. The gorgeous woman I met at the club last night was already gone. All I vaguely remember is us drinking until the end, locking eyes, sparks flying, and then things completely escalating. Alcohol is the devil, I muttered to myself. I got out of bed and stretched my arms. My bones immediately cracked and popped all over. Damn! Just how many rounds did we go last night? Just then, a stack of red bills on the nightstand caught my eye. I walked over and looked. What does she take me for? Not only did this woman sneak out after the fact, she seriously tossed me 10 grand. Does she think I'm a male escort? I quickly shoved the 10 grand into my pocket, then got ready to tidy up the messy bed before leaving. But the second I pulled back the covers, my eyes went wide. Oh my God, is this? Right there, on the pristine white sheet, was a massive bright red stain. My phone vibrating snapped me out of it. Seeing the caller ID, it hit me. I had my interview today, Nan Yu. Look at the time. Why aren't you here yet? Zhang Jiao sounded super pissed off. Sorry, Yao. Something came up and I got delayed. I'm heading over right now. I apologized profusely. 15 minutes later, I arrived at Shanghai Real Estate Tower's conference room for my interview. Right after I finished my self-introduction, a cold, but incredibly pleasant voice rang out, saying, "Tell me, why did you leave your last job?" I looked up at the voice and realized the person speaking was the female executive sitting at the head of the table. The very next second, I stared wide-eyed, completely frozen in place, and because this female exec was none other than the exact same woman I hooked up with last night, even though she dropped last night's seductive club look and swapped it for a sleek, sharp business suit. That flawlessly gorgeous face and those beautiful, mesmerizing eyes. There was absolutely no mistaking them. I left because my thoughts were a total mess. I started stuttering hard. You don't need to be nervous. Just answer normally. Jiang Wan tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, her tone softening a bit. Seeing her calm and collected expression while speaking, I figured she definitely hadn't recognized me. I calmed myself down, adjusted my vibe, and started speaking confidently. Jiang Wan shot me an indifferent glance. As far as she was concerned, this candidate's work experience and on-the-spot performance were pretty decent. Barely a pass. Jiang Wan turned and gave the execs a slight nod. The candidates interviewing this time have a decent overall level. You guys decide. With that, Jiang Wan stood up and walked out of the office. As she walked past me, I caught a whiff of a familiar scent. It was refreshing, yet insanely alluring. Soon it was just me and Zhang Jiao left in the office. How'd I do, Yao? I asked in a low voice. Zhang Jiao beamed. Not bad, not bad. Kid, you didn't embarrass me. You can start work tomorrow. I instantly flashed a huge smile. I was trained by you, after all. No way I'd let you down, Yale. Zhang Jiao patted my shoulder, looking proud. Getting into Shanghai means your future is limitless. Keep up the good work. While chatting, we arrived at the elevators. Nan Yu, head back and prep for tomorrow. I've got work, so I won't walk you down. Wait, Yao. Quick question. I hastily grabbed Zhang Jiao before he left. What's up? Zhang Jiao looked confused. I glanced around the room, then cautiously continued. Yao, well, that female exec who asked me the last question. Who is she? That's Shanghai's general manager, Jiang Wan. Chairman Jiang's only daughter. Don't let her drop-dead gorgeous looks fool you. She's known as the demon boss of the industry. Everyone in the company is terrified of her. Hearing this, I frowned. Thinking back to last night, the way she looked all sweaty and breathtaking, I honestly couldn't picture her as some terrifying boss. Hey, what are you spacing out for? Seeing me dazed and distracted, Zhang Jiao asked, suspiciously. And nothing, Yao. I'll head back now. Sorry for holding you up. After taking the elevator down to the lobby, I touched the heavy 10 grand in my pocket. Thinking it over, I realized I definitely needed to give this money back. If I actually kept this cash, what did that make me? I'm no male escort. I walked briskly over to the front desk and politely asked the receptionist, I'd like to see GM Zhang. Could you please let her know? Up in the 12th floor GM's office of Shanghai Tower, Jiang Wan was lying in a massage chair. Ouch! Jiang Wan frowned slightly, crying out in pain. What's wrong, Boss Jiang? Are you okay? Her assistant, busy sorting files, hurriedly asked. Jiang Wan waved it off, saying softly, I'm fine. But even though she said she was fine, her body was seriously sore and aching, especially the intense pain in her inner thighs. It made walking incredibly difficult. Assistant Zhao looked at Jiang Wan with sympathy. You're just exhausting yourself. You even handle minor things like interviews personally. Jiang Wan smiled and shook her head. All right, get back to work. Don't worry about me. Just then, the office phone rang. Assistant Zhao answered it. After hanging up, she said, Boss Yang, a guy named Nanju wants to see you. Jiang Wan sat up in her office chair. Nanju, isn't that the guy from the interview just now? Why would a newbie candidate want to see me? Did he have some complaint about the company? After thinking for a second, Jiang Wan said, send him up. A few minutes later, I walked steadily into the GM's office. What do you need? Jiang Wan parted her red lips as she sat in her chair, looking at her flawless makeup and total boss babe vibe. I pursed my lips and said, it's about a personal matter. As I spoke, I shot a glance at Zhou, who was sorting files nearby. Jiang Wan looked puzzled. What personal matter? Zhou isn't an outsider. Just say it. My face instantly flushed with embarrassment. No way. Something this incredibly private between a man and a woman. She really wants me to say it in front of someone else. Is that really appropriate? I coughed twice, then started. Well, I'm just gonna say, Boss Yang, about the two of us last night. You really didn't need to pay me. I don't do this for a living. I don't charge. After nervously blurting that out, I quickly pulled the 10 grand out of my pocket and carefully placed the cash right on her desk. At that moment, Jiang Wan, the second she heard me say, last night, her heart had already jumped into her throat. Jiang Wan raised her beautiful eyes, staring at me in total disbelief. Even though she was internally freaking out, logic told her not to panic. She had to stay cool. As a female CEO, she couldn't lose her dominant aura for even a second. Zhou, step out for a minute. Jiang Wan ordered calmly. At this point, Zhou's jaw was completely on the floor. She gasped, looking absolutely stunned and confused, before rushing out of the office. Once the door clicked shut, the vibe in the room instantly became violently awkward. After a beat of silence, Jiang Wan slowly stood up and walked over to me. Frowning, she asked, You're the guy from last night. I looked up, meeting Jiang Wan's gaze. Yeah, hey, it was me. I didn't touch the 10 grand you left. I'm giving it back. Hearing this wide badi, Jiang Wan instinctively glanced at the stack of cash on the desk. Then she said coldly, fine. At this point, Jiang Wan was absolutely positive I was the guy from last night, because my face and build matched perfectly. Plus, she really did leave 10 grand before sneaking out. Thinking about it, Jiang Wan instantly felt incredibly embarrassed and flustered. She wished she could just kick this guy into orbit right now. She had been completely blacked out last night. Her mind was a total blur, zero logic left at. She had just let him utterly wreck her and take control. But this guy clearly wasn't actually drunk. He was buzzing, at best. Anyone with half a brain knows that when a guy is totally smashed, there's no way he can perform like that. He wouldn't even be able to get it up, let alone go round after round. Boss Jiang, you okay? Seeing Jiang Wan totally silenced, I took the initiative to ask. Jiang Wan snapped back to reality. Then, with a dead serious face, she said, Understood, Nanju. Was there anything else? If not, you can leave. Hearing that, I awkwardly forced a smile, nervously rubbing my hands together. In my head, I was thinking, this woman is something else. Unbelievably calm under pressure. Not a single ripple of panic in her eyes. Nope, nothing else. I'll head out then. Boss Jiang. As soon as I said that, I turned to leave. But a second later, I suddenly remembered something and stopped dead in my tracks. Seeing I hadn't left, Jiang Wan leaned lazily against her desk. What? Something else on your mind? Go ahead, shoot. Hearing that, I let out a massive sigh of relief. Then I asked in a low voice, Boss Jiang, you're not gonna revoke my job offer over this, are you? Seeing my panic-stricken face, Jiang Wan couldn't help but smirk, with her red lips and seductive eyes. That smile was dangerously captivating. It gave me literal chills. But Jiang Wan very quickly snapped back to her signature cold, boss babe energy. Don't overthink it. I'm not going to target you over this. No need to stress over such a minor thing. Hearing her answer, my mind was screaming, holy shit. What do you mean, minor thing? Last night, we were making absolute fireworks. We literally hooked up. My body is still running on empty right now. Like you completely drained me dry, you absolute succubus. And did you. All of that is just a minor thing not worth mentioning. I took a deep breath and nodded. As long as I can still start work, that's fine. I won't bother you any longer. Right before leaving, I couldn't help but sneak a peek at Jiang Wan's long killer legs. Those were the exact same legs that were wrapped tight around my waist last night. I couldn't stop myself from swallowing hard. After I left, Jiang Wan sat completely spaced out for several minutes. Soon, her gorgeous face was burning up. Oh my god. This is insane. I'm losing my mind. Jiang Wan, what the hell did you do? Getting drunk and completely letting loose. Booking a hotel room with a total stranger. And even giving up my precious first time. And the worst part is, this guy is a brand new employee at my own company. Just then, her WeChat notifications started blowing up like crazy. Jiang Wan tried her hardest to suppress her internal freakout, then grabbed her phone and opened WeChat. It turned out that massive spam of messages was actually coming from the family group chat that had been dead for ages. After reading through the chat, Jiang Wan narrowed her eyes, instantly getting a bad feeling. Why was this usually silent group chat suddenly blowing up out of nowhere? Her aunt even specifically told her to dress up nicely. It's just a family dinner, no outsider. Why the need to get all dolled up? Something fishy is definitely going on. Don't tell me they're using the family dinner as an excuse to set me up on another blind date. Are they seriously trying to set me up with director Feng's son, Feng Yukong again? Thinking of that greasy, overweight Feng Yukong made Jiang Wan's stomach churn. After thinking it over, Jiang Wan realized she couldn't just sit around and wait for it to happen. She had to take initiative and scout out the situation in advance. Jiang Wan quickly dialed her cousin, Liu Ruyan. The call connected almost instantly. Ongi, hey sis, what made you call me? Ruyan, tell me right now, are they setting me up on another blind date tonight? Yeah, wait, how did you know? Hearing that, a wave of intense anger flared up in Jiang Wan's chest. Who is it? Don't tell me it's that creep Feng Yukong again. On the other end, Liu Ruyan shook her head. I don't know the exact details either. Grandma and the others are keeping their lips completely sealed. They didn't tell me a thing. Hearing this, Jiang Wan pouted. Alright, let's drop that for a second. Ruyan, you need to come find me right now. I messed up big time. At noon, inside a Western restaurant, Jiang Wan slowly and methodically told her cousin, Liu Ruyan, everything that had happened from last night to today. After hearing the whole story, Liu Ruyan's eyes instantly lit up. She got so hyped, she literally jumped out of her seat. Oh my god, no way. I am screaming right now. Liu Ruyan's squealing instantly drew stares from everyone else in the entire restaurant. Seeing this, Jiang Wan quickly reached out and grabbed her, pulling Liu Ruyan back down into her chair. Ruyan, what the hell are you doing? Keep your voice down. You're embarrassing me. Liu Ruyan still looked ridiculously excited. She narrowed her eyes with a wicked grin. Sis, I'm just so happy for you. You've been solo since the womb for 27 whole years. And you finally broke your streak last night. You finally unlocked a whole new world. So, how was it? Was it good? If you went too hard for your first time, you must still be super sore right now. Watching Liu Ruyan's mouth run a mile a minute, Jiang Wan couldn't help but roll her eyes. I called you here to help me brainstorm a solution. and instead you're asking me all this nonsense. Hurry up and help me figure out how to ditch this blind date tonight. And also, what excuse can I use to fire Nan Yu? Hearing this, Liu Ruyan instantly frowned. Wait, what? No way, sis. You want to fire your one-night stand? Isn't that totally heartless? He literally gave you your first time. How can you just pull up your pants and act like you don't know him? Jiang Wan bit her lip in frustration. Shoo, shoo. Stop talking nonsense. If I don't fire him, I'm bound to run into him at work every day. Do you know how awkward that would be? After she said that, a flash of panic crossed Jiang Wan's eyes, and her cheeks flushed deep red again. The corners of Liu Ruyan's mouth curled into a very knowing smile. Sis, I actually have a great idea. One that can solve both of your problems at once. Jiang Wan was startled. What idea? Tell me. Liu Ruyan put on a serious face. Sis, even if you make up an excuse to ditch tonight's blind date, you're only dodging it for now. It'll just trigger Uncle's absolute fury. After all, Director Feng is a big deal in society. If you stand them up, Uncle's gonna look terrible in front of them. After hearing Liu Ruyan's logic, Jiang Wan had to admit she had a solid point. She knew perfectly well just how seriously her father was taking this whole thing. She furrowed her brows, a hint of worry in her eyes. You're right. So, what should I do? I definitely don't want to marry that greasy creep. I'd rather die. Hurry up and tell me your idea. Hearing Jiang Wan say that, Liu Ruyan stopped beating around the bush. My advice is just find a guy to fake being your boyfriend. That way, you still show up to the family dinner, but completely crush the Feng family's hope. Jiang Wan's eyes went wide. She couldn't help but exclaim, that's actually a great idea. But the date is literally tonight. Do I even have time to find a fake boyfriend? But Liu Ruyan just flashed a huge grin. She wiggled her eyebrows and smugly said, your one-night stand. Isn't he literally the perfect candidate? Meanwhile, after grabbing some food, I headed over to a clothing store. Since I was lucky enough to get hired by the sickest real estate company in Shanghai, I figured it was necessary to buy a couple of decent outfits. I quickly picked out a suit. The moment I stepped out of the fitting room, every single salesgirl in the store was staring at me like totally love-struck fangirls. Wow, so handsome. Sir, you're the most handsome customer I've ever seen. I furrowed my brow slightly, carrying a hint of doubt as I walked over to the mirror. But looking at my reflection, I was actually shocked. I hadn't expected that putting on a suit would make me look this insanely sharp. I walked over to the register to pay. Just then my phone started ringing. Hello. Seeing it was an unknown number, my tone was extremely polite. Nanju, where are you right now? Excuse me, is this Boss Jiang? Even though we only just met last night, I instantly recognized Jiang Wan's voice. Yeah, where are you? I need to see you. You need to see me. Do you want me to head to the office now? No need, I'll come to you. Hearing that Jiang Wan wanted to see me, and was actually volunteering to come to my location, I suddenly felt a little nervous. This woman, who was now my boss, and my one-night stand, why on earth did she want to see me? I frowned, asking in total confusion, Boss Jiang, what is this about exactly? We'll talk when we meet. Add my WeChat, and send me your location. Jiang Wan's voice was soft, but her tone left absolutely no room for argument. I hesitated for a second. Oh, all right then. The second I finished speaking, Jiang Wan hung up, so I copied her phone number, added her on WeChat, and shared my location with her. 20 minutes later, I got a WeChat message from Jiang Wan. I'm at the coffee shop on the 3rd floor of Global Harbor. Come over here. Carrying a massive amount of anxiety, I headed up to the coffee shop. The whole way there I was trying to guess Jiang Wan's angle. Did she change her mind? Does she not want me at the company anymore? Or is this about what happened last night? When I got to the coffee shop, I spotted Jiang Wan instantly. After all, she really was a rare, stunning beauty. Every single male customer in the shop couldn't stop sneaking glances in her direction. Their eyes were completely glued to her. Right then, Liu Ruyan, sitting across from Jiang Wan, saw a hot guy walk into the shop. Her eyes instantly lit up. Oh my god, sis. Don't tell me that's Nanju. He is incredibly hot. Looking at Liu Ruyan's total fangirl expression, Jiang Wan rolled her eyes in sheer disappointment. Hey, pace yourself, player. Don't forget you're literally a married woman now. After saying that, Jiang Wan also turned her head to look. Her beautiful eyes immediately narrowed. She had to admit, dressed in a casual suit, I looked pretty damn handsome. Hey, over here. Jiang Wan waved at me. I navigated past the tables of customers and walked briskly over to her. Before I could even speak, Jiang Wan pointed to the empty seat next to her. She then introduced us. This is my cousin, Liu Ruyan. Ruyan, this is Nanju. I gave Liu Ruyan a polite smile, then sat down right next to Jiang Wan. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan, she looked completely dumbfounded, staring at me like a starving wolf seeing meat. Seeing Liu Ruyan still fangirling hard, Jiang Wan coughed lightly. She lifted her foot under the table and gave Liu Ruyan a hard kick. Liu Ruyan finally snapped out of it, realizing she had totally lost her cool. Blushing hard, she smiled. Hey there, handsome. Hi, I replied with a polite smile. Liu Ruyan still couldn't hide her excitement. She kept repeatedly winking at Jiang Wan. It was one of those looks only women understand, meaning great taste. This guy is top tier. Sensing the vibe getting a little weird, I took the initiative to ask, Boss Jiang, what did you need to see me about? Jiang Wan's face instantly flushed a bit red. I want to discuss something with you. Or rather, make a deal. If you pull this off, I'll pay you handsomely. Her words made me completely freeze. A deal? Pay? Don't tell me she wants a round 2 of last night's deal. Thinking of that, I gave an awkward smile. Boss Jiang, what exactly do you mean by a deal? Jiang Wan blinked her beautiful eyes. I have to attend a family dinner. My parents are going to use it to set me up on a blind date. To get out of it, I want to hire you to fake being my boyfriend and come to the dinner with me. Hearing that, my eyes went wide. What? Boss Jiang, you want me to be your fake boyfriend? Jiang Wan pursed her red lips and said coldly, exactly. You can think it over. The pay is highly negotiable. By the way, what's your current intern salary? At this point, I still hadn't recovered from the shock. Still completely baffled, I answered, 6,000 a month. That low? I'll hire you to be my fake boyfriend and pay you 50 grand a month. Seeing me stay completely silent after she said that, looking hesitant, she asked, is 50 grand not enough? Makes sense. It's probably not an easy job. My dad is a shrewd veteran in the business world. He won't be easy to fool. How about 100 grand? Will that work? Don't worry too much. You shouldn't have to see my parents that often. Listening to her pitch with a dumbfounded look, I slowly started to wrap my head around it. She seriously isn't joking. She really wants me to be her fake boyfriend and pay me 100 grand a month. But, honestly, even though that amount of cash is incredibly tempting, what's way more tempting than the 100 grand is Jiang Wan herself. Boss Jiang, if you're serious about this, I think I can give it a shot. Hearing me agree, Jiang Wan instantly sighed in relief. That's perfect. It's a deal then. No backing out. Otherwise, I won't have time to find anyone else. Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow, a bit confused. By the way, what day is this family dinner? Tonight. Jiang Wan replied softly. Right as she said that, Liu Ruyan started giggling wickedly. Ha 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 ha. Did that scare you, handsome? At this point, I practically turned to stone. I couldn't believe my ears. What? Did I hear that right? I have to go to a family dinner with you tonight. I literally have 0 time to prepare. We're definitely going to get exposed. Jiang Wan looked at my shell-shocked face and gave a calm smile. It's fine. It's 2 p.m. right now. We head home at 6 p.m. That gives us 4 whole hours to prep. First, I'm taking you to buy some decent clothes. With that, Jiang Wan pulled Liu Ruyan up to leave. My brain was still buzzing like crazy. Following their lead, the 3 of us headed toward the clothing section. Being dragged along by Jiang Wan, Liu Ruyan looked super reluctant as she walked. She kept sneaking peeks back at me. As a total player, facing a top-tier handsome guy, how could she resist looking? Not only could she not stop looking, she couldn't stop showering me with praise. Sis, you're amazing. You either go years without a man, or you go straight for an absolute god. Not only is he drop-dead gorgeous, his body is unbelievable. Hearing Liu Ruyan gush over me non-stop, Jiang Wan couldn't help it and pinched her arm hard. Surprisingly, instead of holding back, Liu Ruyan just got more hyped. Sis, I bet you were absolutely in heaven last night. You know the saying. Tall guys pack the heat. Look at Nanyu's height and build. He must be an absolute beast in bed. This aggressively explicit comment made me visibly cringe from behind. Good lord. This Liu Ruyan is seriously talking about my junk out here in broad daylight. Looks like I need to keep my guard up around her. I definitely can't let her get her hooks in me. The three of us walked into a clothing boutique. Welcome. What kind of style are you looking for? Sir, would you like to try this on? This piece really suits your vibe. Seeing three clearly wealthy customers walk in, the salesgirls immediately flocked over to eagerly show us around. I smiled and casually picked up a jacket. The next second I gasped, holy shit, 180 grand for one jacket. Are they insane? Jiang Wan, meanwhile, didn't say a word and just walked around checking the racks. After doing a lap, she extended her slender pale finger and pointed at 4 specific outfits. The salesgirls carefully noted down the 4 outfits she had pointed to. Please wait a moment, miss. I'll go fetch those for the gentleman to try on. No, I mean I'll take everything in the store except those 4. Take every single style in his size and wrap them all up for me. Every salesgirl in the store instantly dropped their jaw. They stood frozen in sheer shock. After a long pause, it was like they had all just won the lottery. They started scrambling around in frantic excitement. Yes, right away, miss. After that, a salesgirl came over and took my measurements. At this point, I was also completely stunned. I rushed over to Jiang Wan. Boss Jiang, the clothes here are insanely expensive. You can't drop this much money on me. I'm just your fake boyfriend. Seeing how anxious and panicked I was, Jiang Wan was about to reassure me, but Liu Ruyan beat her to the punch. Liu Ruyan stared at me with fiery eyes. Oh, please? Handsome, stop overthinking it. If my sister wants to spend money on you, let her mold you. She's a CEO. She's loaded. You're so tall and handsome. You deserve to wear the best brands. After saying that, she winked at me again. Then, she stood on her tiptoes and gave my chest a quick squeeze. My inner voice screamed, holy shit! I quickly took a step back. Jesus, what kind of female predator is this? Jiang Wan glared at Liu Ruyan in utter exasperation. Ruyan, stop messing with him. He's not as shameless as you. But as soon as those words left her mouth, Jiang Wan regretted it, because she knew exactly how Liu Ruyan was going to clap back. Sure enough, Liu Ruyan giggled uncontrollably. I'm shameless. Sure, you and Nanju are the modest ones. So modest that you ended up in bed the very first time you met. Jiang Wan's face instantly burned, beet red. She raised her hand, pretending to hit Liu Ruyan. Seeing that Jiang Wan was actually getting mad, and knowing the consequences of pissing off her sister, Liu Ruyan quickly dialed it back. Then, Jiang Wan looked at me and said softly, don't mind her. As for the clothes, don't worry about the price. I can afford it. Hearing that, I had no choice but to nod. All right. A little while later, the salesgirl finally finished packing everything. Miss, you purchased a total of 38 items. After the discount, the total comes to 5.6 million. How would you like to pay? Okay, put it on my card. Jiang Wan calmly and unhurriedly pulled a card out of her bag and handed it to the salesgirl, standing off to the side. When I heard the clothes cost 5 to 6 million, I stood there completely dumbfounded, my jaw on the floor. I seriously couldn't believe it. A woman I had literally just met was willing to spend this much money on clothes for me. This isn't hiring me as a fake boyfriend. This is straight up sugar mommy behavior. Nanyu, go change into this suit. You'll wear this to the family dinner tonight. The second Jiang Wan finished speaking, she was eagerly dragged out of the store by Liu Ruyan. I shrugged, then walked straight into the fitting room. 2 minutes later, when I walked out of the fitting room, I was met with another crowd of drooling fangirl faces. Right at that moment, an incredibly obnoxious voice rang out behind me. Yo, Nanyu, what are you doing here? I froze for a second, then turned around. Turns out it was my old classmate, Sun Yusheng, a total try-hard who was always jealous of my looks. Yusheng, long time no see. I greeted him dryly. Sun Yusheng, leading his heavily made-up date, walked right up to me. Then, looking super smug, he said, "This is my fiancé, Yaoyo." I just said, "Oh," and gave a cold hello. Sun Yusheng kept up his arrogant, smug attitude. "Nan, you got a girl yet? Want me to set you up with someone?" Hearing this, I rolled my eyes and shook my head. "No need. I already, before I could even finish." Sun Yusheng cut me off. "Don't be polite, bro. I'm just looking out for your love life. I heard your family's been rushing you to settle down. But honestly, my advice to you is to lower your standards when looking for a girl. Know your place and your own worth. Don't try too hard to bag a baddie." Sun Yusheng deliberately dragged out the word baddie. He pulled his girlfriend, Yaoyo, even closer. Watching Sun Yusheng acting all high and mighty, being a total smug, try hard, literally made me sick to my stomach. "Thanks for the concern, but I don't need your help finding a girl." Sun Yusheng kept up his irritating smirk. "Is that so? By the way, what are you doing here? If you're broke, don't wander into places like this. The clothes here cost more than gold." Hearing that, I just smiled. I was bored, so I came for a stroll. Just bought a huge pile of clothes from this store, actually. Sun Yusheng immediately scoffed. "Bro, stop flexing when you're broke. You couldn't afford a single piece in there. With a whole year's salary." Sun Yusheng's date started giggling. Mockingly, too. Then she turned to Sun Yusheng and whined, "Hubby, you promised me ages ago that you'd buy me something from this brand." Hearing this, Sun Yusheng's face twitched with financial pain. But, to keep up his rich guy act in front of me, he forced a smile. "Babe, I'll buy it for you in a bit." Right at that moment, the salesgirl walked up to me. "Sir, all your clothes are packed up. Here is your receipt." Hearing this, Sun Yusheng and his date were instantly dumbfounded. "Nan, you actually bought a lot of clothes here. Don't tell me you found a sugar mommy." "I won't lie. Bro, it's exactly what you're thinking. I got myself a very rich girlfriend." "Oh wow, Nanyu, why would you stoop so low? You're so young. How can you stomach servicing some old lady? Sure, we might be broke, but you can't just sell your body." I was too lazy to keep looking at Sun Yusheng's punchable face. Why aren't Jiang and the others back yet? It's been a while now. Thinking of Jiang breathtaking beauty, I couldn't help but let a smirk creep onto my face. Meanwhile, Sun Yusheng was still spitting everywhere, mocking me. "Bro, I'm just saying, an old lady can give you money, but she can't give you kids." Just then, a gorgeous mature voice rang out from behind Sun Yusheng. "Nan Yu, we're back." I looked up at the sound and saw Jiang Wan and Liu Ruo. My eyes instantly lit up. Overjoyed, Sun Yusheng and his girlfriend turned around at the same time. Both had faces ready to watch some drama. But, the very next second, they were completely stunned. They saw an absolute stunner, with flawless features and an hourglass figure, strutting over gracefully. The moment she appeared, she made every other woman in the mall look totally basic. Finally, I smiled and walked over to her. Then I smoothly took the shopping bags from Jiang Wan's hands. I just ran into an old classmate and chatted for a bit. Jiang Wan raised an eyebrow. "Is that so? Why do I feel like I just heard someone call me an old lady? Was it you?" Jiang Wan shot a freezing, disdainful glare at Sun Yusheng. Sun Yusheng just stood there frozen, his eyes practically glued to her. Holy shit, no way. This absolute goddess is Nanju's girlfriend. He didn't find some old sugar mommy. He bagged a top-tier stunner. "What are you looking at? Keep staring at my sister, and I'll gouge your eyeballs out." "And you were the one calling her an old lady just now, right?" Liu Ruyan snapped, looking completely disgusted. "Am I bad? What I said earlier, I was just messing around with Nanju." At this point, I felt incredibly satisfied. This loser was just yapping about old ladies. And now he just got slapped with reality. But I still smiled to ease the tension. "This is my childhood friend, Sun Yusheng. This is his girlfriend, Yao Yao. And this is my girlfriend, Jiang Wan. This is Liu Ruyan." After the intros, Sun Yusheng plastered on a fake smile and reached out, trying to shake Jiang Wan's hand. Yang Wan completely ignored his hand. Instead, she turned to me with a sweet smile. Are all the clothes packed up? I blurted out. Yep, everything's packed. But a second later, I suddenly felt like something was off. Wait, did I hear that right? What did Jiang Wan just call me? I looked at Jiang Wan in pure shock. Jiang Wan then said softly, since everything's packed, then let's get going. Hubby, when we have time, I still want to buy you a few Rolex watches. With that, Jiang Wan took the initiative to link arms with me, pulling me away. I was still completely mind-blown. Watching us walk away, Sun Yuking's face turned totally green. He was so pissed, his features twisted, looking like he was about to pass out. A few minutes later, a Rolls-Royce Phantom was cruising smoothly down the road. The car was filled with Liu Rian's bright, ringing laughter. Ha 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 ha. Didn't that feel amazing? Nan Yu, I told the truth. Ha ha ha. It really did. I've been sick of Sun Yukin being a try-hard forever. Finally, got to slap his swollen ego right in the face. Then, Liu Ruyan suddenly gave a wicked grin. Nan Yu, did you notice something? Notice what? I looked super confused. Liu Ruyan leaned in and whispered, my sister. She might always look like this cold bossy CEO. But she's actually super cute. Like one when she played along to help you humiliate that loser. Calling you hubby twice like that. It was so cheesy I almost died. I immediately started nodding like crazy. Yeah, you're totally right. Yang Wan dropping that hubby out of nowhere still has my heart racing. At this point, Jiang Wan turned and said seriously, stop gossiping. Let's get down business. Since we're pretending to be a couple, we need to get to know each other first. I nodded in agreement. Right. We need to practice beforehand, so we don't get exposed. We need to get used to the whole couple dynamic. Liu Ruyan, watching the two of us talk so seriously, suddenly burst out laughing. Relax, there's no way you guys will get exposed. You've already had deep, intimate interactions. Now you just need to memorize each other's basic info. And you're golden. The second she said that, the vibe in the car got instantly awkward. Jiang Wan and I both simultaneously looked purely embarrassed. After getting the rundown on each other's family, Jiang Wan checked the time on her phone. It's 5 p.m. now. Let's just head to my place. The moment she said that, I instantly tensed up. Whoa, wait. Don't go to your place just yet. What? Getting cold feet? I raised an eyebrow and explained. There's no way I'm getting cold feet. I already agreed to this. I'm definitely not backing out now. Jiang Wan frowned. Then tell me, why don't you want to head to my place right now? Are you still not mentally prepared? No. I just suddenly remembered something. We might be a fake couple, but no matter how you slice it, this is my first time visiting my future in-laws. I always hear my mom nagging about what kind of gifts so-and-so's son bought for his first time meeting the parents. So, I figured, I can't just show up to your parents' house empty-handed. I gotta buy some gifts to show proper respect. Jiang Wan nodded, suddenly realizing, that's true. Do we still have time to go buy gifts? I thought for a second, yeah, we've got time. Let's just hit the mall up ahead. 20 minutes later, I walked out of the mall carrying a stack of gift boxes. Getting into the car, Jiang Wan was genuinely shocked. What did you buy? Why is there so much? I smiled sheepishly. It's nothing. Just some health supplements. I know your family probably doesn't care for this stuff, but it's the thought that counts. Gotta have the proper etiquette. Hearing me say that, Jiang Wan felt I was pretty street smart and socially aware. But then, a thought crossed her mind. Nan Yu knows the etiquette for meeting the in-laws so well. He must have a ton of relationship experience. Who knows, maybe he's actually visited a girlfriend's parents before. Thinking about this, Jiang Wan suddenly felt like she'd taken a huge loss. Do you think the stuff I bought is okay? Boss Jiang, seeing her suddenly go quiet, I asked, looking totally clueless. Jiang Wan replied coldly, it's perfectly fine, seeing how experienced you are at meeting a girl's parents. I can relax. Her words instantly left me scratching my head. She was just smiling at me non-stop a second ago. Why did she suddenly get so cold? And why does she sound so sour? Oh right. Nan Yu, remember this. In front of my family, do not call me Boss Jiang. I raised an eyebrow and asked, if I don't call you Boss Jiang, what do I call you? Xiao Wan. Wan. Or should I use those pet names couples love? Like baby or babe? Jiang Wan bit her red lip, looking completely grossed out. That's way too cheesy. Just call me Wan. My family likes to call me that. Also, regarding our relationship history, no matter who asks, we say we just met last week. It was love at first sight. Hearing Jiang Wan's plan, I was a bit surprised, but I still nodded. A few minutes later, the car slowly pulled into a massive manor estate. Hey, Nan Yu, are you nervous? Liu Ruyan suddenly asked. I'm doing alright, not nervous. Even though I played it tough and said I wasn't nervous, my brain was practically short-circuiting right now. Meeting the parents for the first time is stressful enough, let alone when your future father-in-law is one of the top 3 titans of Shanghai's financial world. After getting out of the car, Jiang Wan gave me a heads up. Nanju, just relax. I'm here. My family won't give you a hard time. With that, Jiang Wan reached out and poked Liu Ruyan's forehead. Ruyan, remember, keep your mouth shut. Liu Ruyan patted her chest, laughing. Don't worry, sis. Brother-in-law, we're on the same team. I'm fully backing you guys up. I walked to the back of the car, popped the trunk and grabbed the gifts. Jiang Wan and Liu Ruyan stood nearby, waiting. Just then, a strange Maybach, parked in front of the villa, caught Jiang Wan's eye. She said coldly, looks like they're already here. Liu Ruyan caught on too. That was Director Feng's car. She clicked her tongue in disgust. Sure, they've got money and power, but that guy is busted as hell. And I heard he's a total scumbag too. I don't blame you, sis. Even I'd pass hard on him. After grabbing the gifts, I looked at Jiang Wan standing in front of me, and an idea hit me. I figured I could shoot a quick video to show my mom. Hasn't she been breathing down my neck to get married? Might as well drop a video in the family group chat and drop an absolute nuke on everyone. Thinking of that, I whipped out my phone. First, I filmed the stack of gifts in my hands. Then I panned the camera over to Jiang Wan. After recording, I sent it straight to the family chat. As for me, filming a random video, Jiang Wan just laughed it off. Alright, let's get going. With that, she smiled brightly and grabbed my hand. This instantly triggered a flashback to last night. Our wild night. At the absolute peak, those exact same hands clawed a ton of scratch marks down my back. I gotta admit, you guys actually look amazing together. If you ever pop out a kid, they're gonna have insane genetics. Liu Ruyan mumbled as she trailed behind us. In front of a massive, super luxurious 3-story villa, Jiang Wan casually pushed open the front doors. The sounds of a lively conversation instantly hit use. I'm home. Mom, Dad, Grandma, Aunt, Uncle. Oh, Director Feng Yukong, you're here too. As she spoke, Jiang Wan led me right into the living room, arms linked. Hearing Jiang Wan's voice, the bustling living room instantly went dead silent. Everyone in the room saw that, along with Jiang Wan and Liu Ruyan, there was a total stranger standing there, and Jiang Wan was clinging onto his arm. The two of them looked incredibly cozy. The entire room's expression dropped. They instantly knew Jiang Wan was here to cause trouble. Is she really crashing her own blind date by pulling a stunt like this? Just as the room's atmosphere hit absolute zero, the Jiang family matriarch broke the ice with a warm smile. Oh my precious granddaughters are back. Come, sit next to Grandma. Let me get a good look at you both. Hearing that, Liu Ruyan ran over and happily sat right next to her. Jiang Wan, still holding my hand, followed close behind. Wan, who is this young man? Grandma Jiang squinted, giving me a thorough once-over. Jiang Wan looked at me with pure adoration, then faced the room looking blissfully happy. Let me introduce you all. This is my boyfriend, Nan Yu. This is my. Jiang Wan introduced her family one by one, and also introduced her dad's friend, Director Feng, and his son. I very politely nodded and smiled at everyone. After the intros, I placed the gifts I brought down onto the coffee table. Just a little something. I hope they suit your tastes. I honestly felt my performance was pretty solid. Polite, respectful, but not overly desperate. But right now, absolutely nobody acknowledged me. Shocked, the whole room sat there with stiff faces, totally silent. Only Grandma Jiang kept her warm, kindly smile. Ha ha ha. Very nice, very nice. This young man has great manners. And he's so tall and handsome. My Wan Wan has excellent taste. Grandma approved. Cheng Wai, Zhou Li, what do you two think? In the Jiang household, Grandma Jiang's word was absolute law. Nobody dared cross her. Hearing her question, Jiang Wan's mom, Zhou Li, quickly nodded along with her mother-in-law. You're right, Mom. I think he's a great kid too. Zhou Li, always highly respected, and blindly followed all of her mother-in-law's decisions. Plus, they both had the exact same taste anyway. They both had a serious weakness for good-looking guys. And Jiang Wan's dad, Jiang Chenghuai, also forced a stiff smile at his elderly mother. You're totally right, Mom. But Wan's marriage is something we need to be incredibly careful about. Saying that, Jiang Chenghuai shot a piercing look at Jiang Wan. Wan, is he really your boyfriend? Why didn't you tell your old man you were seeing someone? Jiang Wan leaned casually against her grandma. She felt an overwhelming sense of security. She said calmly, I just haven't had the time to tell you yet, Dad. Nan Yu and I only just met last week. Jiang Chenghuai's face got even darker. What? You just met last week? Wah. Finding a boyfriend isn't some game. You can't just mess around however you want. Hearing the phrase, mess around, Jiang Wan instantly got defensive. But she tried her best to keep her cool. We're not messing around. It was love at first sight. When it comes to love, how long you've known someone really doesn't matter. Yang Wan's words successfully ignited Director Feng's absolute fury. The moment Jiang Wan walked through the door holding my arm, Director Feng felt an unprecedented level of disrespect. He shot up from his seat. Look here, old friend. About your daughter already having a boyfriend. Did you actually not know, or were you just playing dumb? Jiang Chenghuai straightened his sleeves and stood up too. Brother, when it comes to our children's marriages, why would I purposely lie to you? I truly had no idea about this. But I will admit, the Jiang family is completely in the wrong here. Seeing the situation spiraling out of control, the old matriarch spoke up again. Now listen, Xiao Feng. I mean Director Feng. We handled things poorly tonight. I apologize to you. Can you do an old lady a favor and let this slide? Don't hold it against my granddaughter. Matters of the heart have always been about mutual feelings. I guess my granddaughter and your son just weren't meant to be. There's nothing we can do about it. Hearing the old matriarch speak, Director Feng cooled down a bit. He thought for a moment and realized he couldn't afford to burn bridges with the Jiang family over this. Of course not. You're absolutely right, Auntie. Even if our families aren't joining by marriage, we still have years of friendship between us. All right, we won't interrupt your family dinner any longer. Excuse us. With that, Director Feng led his son, Feng Yukong, toward the door. Feng Yukong was still staring at me, wide-eyed. Jiang Wan, are you seriously with him? Are you just messing around or are you for real? Hearing that, Jiang Wan rolled her eyes. What kind of question is that? Of course we're aiming for marriage. Saying that, Jiang Wan pressed herself tightly against me. I perfectly played along, wrapping an arm around Jiang Wan's shoulder. Then I looked down into her eyes with pure devotion. Wan, I'm incredibly serious about you too. Watching this whole display made Feng Yukong's blood absolutely boil. He shot Jiang Wan a dark, meaningful look, then quickly followed his dad out the door. Jiang Chenghuai followed them to see them out. Just then, the matriarch tapped her mahogany cane on the floor. All right, kids, enough drama. There are no outsiders left. Come eat dinner. Jiang Wan and I trailed behind, holding hands. Nan Yu, your phone keeps going off. Jiang Wan gently reminded me. I said, oh, and quickly pulled my phone out of my pocket. I didn't even need to unlock it to guess that this crazy spam of notifications was definitely from the family chat. Sure enough, seeing my family absolutely losing their minds showering me with praise, I was overjoyed. Now, nobody will ever pressure me to get married again. To solidify the illusion and make my family believe it even more, we happily shot another quick video showing off the inside of the Jiang mansion. I sent it to the group, then shoved my phone back into my pocket. But what I had no idea of was that what I just did was about to bring an absolute hurricane of trouble onto me. Everyone sit down and eat, at Grandma Jiang's command. We all sat down around the dining table. The eldest daughter-in-law, Zhao Li, said, "Mom, Cheng Hui just called. He said there's an emergency at the branch office, and he has to rush over tonight. He won't be coming back tonight. And he also asked me to pass this along to you." Zhao Li leaned in close to the matriarch and lowered her voice. The table was long, so I couldn't hear what Aunt Jiang said, but I could definitely guess that whatever she whispered was definitely about me, because right now, I'm the only outsider in the room. Fine, fine. If he's not coming back, he's not coming back. Let's just eat. With that, everyone picked up their chopsticks in unison. The Jiang family members, but constantly shot glances in my direction, even though Jolie was a bit shocked that her daughter suddenly found a boyfriend. Seeing how handsome and tall I was, her first impression of me was highly positive. "Nanyu, how old are you? What do you do for work? Where are you from? How many people are in your family?" Hearing the interrogation, I put down my chopstick and gave Zhao Li a polite smile. "I'm 27 this year. I work as an accountant at a real estate company. I live in the West District. There are 3 people in my family." Right after I answered, Zhou Li eagerly asked another question. "Haha, so you're the same age as my Wan. By the way, how did you two meet?" Seeing the cue, I smoothly rattled off the cover story we prepared earlier. Throughout dinner, I had to think on my feet and answer all sorts of questions. I was incredibly stressed. After dinner, everyone sat around the tea table chatting for a while. Then Liu Ruyan's family left. I checked my phone for the time and saw it was already 9 p.m. I shot a quick glance at Jiang Wan. She immediately took the hint. "Mom, Grandma, it's getting late, and you and I are going to head out. You guys should get some rest." With that, Jiang Wan grabbed my hand to get up. But Grandma Jiang suddenly frowned. "Wan, think about it. How long has it been since you came home? You're always so busy every single day." Hearing that, Jiang Wan stuck her tongue out playfully, instantly understanding what her grandma meant. All right, fine. I'll stay over tonight." After agreeing, Jiang Wan turned to me. "Nanju, you can head back by yourself tonight. I'll have the driver take you." I just said, "Okay," then stood up to say goodbye to Jiang Wan's mom and grandma. But the moment I finished speaking, Grandma Yang frowned again. "Xiao Yu, now I'm getting a little upset. Do you think our house is too small? Is there no room for you to stay?" I quickly shook my head like a bobblehead. No, not at all. Grandma Jiang." Grandma Jiang waved her hand dismissively. "Then it's settled. Just like Wan. You're staying here tonight." I instantly shivered, swallowing hard a few times. "Oh shit. Is this really just meeting the parents for the first time?" The whole point of pretending to be Jiang Wan's boyfriend was to get out of an arranged marriage. How did things end up like this? "Thank you for the offer, Grandma Jiang. I'll definitely visit often in the future. But I have to work early tomorrow morning, so tonight I should probably..." Before I could even finish, Grandma Jiang impatiently cut me off. "All right, grandson-in-law, stop being so polite. You and Wan are both sleeping here tonight. You can head to work from here tomorrow morning. It won't be too late." With that, she ordered the maids to prep a guest room. I wanted to put up a fight, but Grandma Jiang's stern glare completely shut me down. An hour later, the whole manor went quiet. After taking a shower, I collapsed onto the sofa. Thinking back on everything that happened over the past day or two, it honestly felt like some bizarre, trippy dream. Before going to sleep, I habitually checked my phone. Seeing the messages from the family chat, my eyebrows instantly pulled together. I quickly scrolled through all the messages in the group, then frantically started typing. I had a feeling that if I didn't reply right now, my mom was going to blow up my phone with calls. I answered everyone's questions in the group chat one by one. I thought my answers were pretty flawless. But my mom's next message practically gave me a heart attack. She actually demanded I bring Jiang Wan home for dinner tomorrow night. I nearly choked on my own spit. I literally just met the in-laws. Why do I have to bring Jiang Wan to my house now? Suddenly, a knock on the door broke my train of thought. I quickly put down my phone and rushed over to open it. But the second I opened the door, my eyes widened. I instinctively pulled my bathrobe tighter around myself. It was Grandma Jiang, standing right in front of me. I quickly stepped aside to let her in. "Grandma Jiang, It's so late you're not asleep yet. Leaning on her cane, Grandma Jiang looked at me with a huge smile. Ha 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 ha. No need, I won't come in. I'm a night owl. I'm not even tired yet. So, I just came out for a stroll. Then, she turned and signaled to the maid behind her. The maid carried a pot of soup into the room. Xiaoju, I specifically had someone make this calming soup for you. Drink it before you sleep. It'll help you sleep and nourish your body. I nodded, saying gratefully, thank you, Grandma Jiang. Back in my room, I sat down on the sofa, while continuing to chat in the family group. I took the spoon and drank the soup mouthful by mouthful. 10 minutes later, I completely failed to convince my parents. Defeated, I had no choice but to agree to bring Jiangwan home tomorrow. I let out a burp, then rubbed my stomach, feeling extremely satisfied. Who knew Grandma Jiang's soup wasn't just delicious, but really nourishing too? I had just finished it, and my whole body was already feeling incredibly warm. Out of curiosity, I took the spoon and stirred the bottom of the pot. When I scooped up the ingredients at the bottom, I went completely numb. Holy shit, these are all hardcore aphrodisiacs. If a guy drinks a bowl of this, even the keyhole on the door isn't safe. I'm so dead. My entire body is already starting to turn red and burn up. Feeling the effects kick in hard, I jumped up, rushed to the window, and threw it open. I stood by the window, letting the cold wind hit me, panting heavily, trying desperately to cool myself down. Just then, there was another knock on the door. I hesitated, but realizing I was a guest in someone else's house, I couldn't just ignore a tea. So I pulled my bathrobe tight, walked over, and opened the door. It was Jiangwan. She walked briskly into the room, then immediately shut the door. Nan Yu, it's freezing out. Why are all the windows wide open? Wearing only a thin nightgown, Jiangwan shivered from the cold. Seeing this, I hurried over to the window and shut it tight. I just took a shower and felt a bit hot, so I opened it. Jiangwan stepped closer, examining my face up close. What's wrong? Why is your face so red? Your neck too. Are you running a fever? With that, she stood on her tiptoes and pressed her hand against my forehead. I couldn't dodge in time, so I had to just let her touch me. But that single touch made the burning sensation in my body spike even worse. Jiangwan instantly looked panicked. Oh my god, your head is burning up. You definitely have a fever. Wait here, I'll call my private doctor over right now to take a look at you. She reached for her phone to make the call. I quickly stopped her. No, it's fine. It's an old issue of mine. Every time I take a shower, my body temperature shoots up. It'll cool down on its own in a bit. Jiangwan frowned, looking at me with total suspicion. I've never heard of a condition like that. That's so weird. Jiangwan crossed her arms and slowly circled around me. She was getting more and more suspicious of my condition. I stood there, completely at a loss for what to do. Right now, I just wanted to politely shove her out the door. Every single second she stood in this room was pure, agonizing torture. Looking at her fresh out of the shower, wearing only a nightgown, looking incredibly delicate and alluring, I couldn't stop gulping nervously. Boss Jiang, what do you need in my room? My tone was deliberately cold, hoping she would get the hint and leave ASAP. But Jiangwan showed absolutely zero signs of leaving. She tucked her hair behind her ear and sat down on the sofa. Red lips, seductive eyes. This whole scene was making my entire body tense up, and my emotions were getting dangerously unstable. I didn't want to wake you, but I kept tossing and turning and couldn't sleep. So, I figured I'd just come find you. I want to talk about how my grandma keeps pushing me to get married. Listening to her soft, delicate voice, there was absolutely no way I could play it cool and talk to her normally like I did during the day. Right now, I felt like I was on the brink of losing control. I quickly turned my back to her, so she couldn't see my incredibly compromising situation. Nan Yu, what's wrong with you? I'm talking to you. Why are you so distracted, and why is your back turned? Do you know how rude that is? With that, Jiangwan started walking toward me. I stood there, absolutely mortified, lacking the courage to turn around and face her. Because, right now, that area was at full salute. I'm really not feeling well. My head hurts. I just want to go to sleep. Jiangwan walked right up to me, scrutinizing me with a serious look. Nan Yu, are you upset with my family? If something is bothering you, just say it. I cleared my painfully dry throat and turned my face away, No, I'm not upset. I'm genuinely just feeling sick. I feel awful. As I said that, I quickly moved my hand and subtly covered that area. Seeing me, turned my head away and grabbed my crotch. Jiang Wan couldn't help but ask, "What is actually wrong with you? You were perfectly fine during dinner. You were laughing and joking with my family. How did you suddenly end up like this after taking a shower? Are you faking being sick to get out of playing the part of my loving boyfriend?" Faced with Jiang Wan's accusations, I let out a heavy sigh. Then I pounded my chest a few times. "Boss, Jiang, let me just be honest with you. I'm not mad at your family, and I'm not faking it. My entire body just feels like it's on fire right now. Like 10 minutes ago, your grandma came by and gave me a pot of calming soup. Yeah, I heard my grandma came to your room. I thought she just came to check on you. I didn't realize she cared about you. I thought much bringing you soup herself," Jiang Wan said with a radiant smile. I looked down at Jiang Wan standing so close to me, and my mind instantly went into overdrive. My heart skipped a beat. I cleared my throat and continued, "Your grandma definitely likes me. All right, but do you know what kind of soup she gave me? You could never guess." Jiang Wan raised an eyebrow, looking confused. "What was it? Wasn't it just calming soup?" I licked my dry, burning lips and gave a bitter laugh. "Your grandma brought me a hardcore aphrodisiac soup. Any guy who drinks that is gonna feel uncomfortable." After hearing my explanation, Jiang Wan was so shocked she couldn't speak for a solid minute. She bit her lip, asking in pure disbelief, "Are you telling the truth?" I took 2 steps back, putting some distance between myself and her. Then I motioned toward the coffee table with my chin. "If you don't believe me, go look for yourself." Jiang Wan hesitated for a second, then walked over to the coffee table, looking doubtful. But when she actually inspected the ingredients at the bottom of the pot, her eyes instantly went wide. Right at that moment, the burning sensation in my body got even worse. It felt like every breath I took was breathing fire. "Boss Jiang, you need to leave right now. I'm seriously afraid I'm going to lose control and do something to you." Seeing how much pain I was in, Jiang Wan quickly ran over to me. "Nan Yu, don't panic. I'll call the doctor over right now." I raised my arm and wiped the sweat dripping into my eyes. "Don't call the doctor. Even if a doctor comes, I still need time for it to wear off on its own." I grabbed a glass of cold water from the coffee table and chugged it all down in one breath. Only then did the fire in my body subside a tiny bit. "Boss Jiang, the way I see it, your grandma did this because she wants you to get pregnant. That way we'd be forced to get married immediately." Hearing my theory, Jiang Wan thoughtfully narrowed her eyes. You're right. I just remembered. Back in the day, the way my grandma locked down my grandpa was by hooking up with him. The very first day they met, my eyes instantly lit up. So, why don't we just play along with her plan? Let's make everyone think we actually did something tonight. If they all think you're going to get pregnant soon, we'll both get a break from being pressured into marriage." Jiang Wan laughed at the idea, but then a wave of uneasiness hit her. "Nan Yu, what you're saying is, you want me to stay in your room tonight?" I nodded and said, "Just stay in my room tonight." Jiang Wan looked hesitant. She looked me up and down, then finally said, "You're right. We might as well play along with her plan. But I'm afraid that." I pulled out a few tissues, constantly wiping the beads of sweat off my body. "Afraid of what?" "Boss, Jiang." Jiang Wan shot a very teasing glance toward my lower half. "I'm afraid you won't be able to control yourself, and you'll try something rough with me." I shook my head in frustration. Then I said, "I'm going to take a cold shower right now." With that, I stumbled into the bathroom. Jiang Wan just lay on the sofa, staring blankly, listening to the sound of running water from the bathroom. Jiang Wan slowly started drifting off to sleep. 20 minutes later, the bathroom door opened. I walked out, my breathing steady again. I felt way better now. "Boss Jiang, I'm good now." Boot. Jiang Wan had already fallen fast asleep on the sofa. I quickly went silent. I tiptoed over to the bed, grabbed a blanket, and gently draped it over Jiang Wan. Then, I climbed into bed. The next morning, a knock on the door broke the silence in the room. Still, half asleep, Jiang Wan instinctively mumbled, "Come in." Zhao Li pushed the door open. The next second she screamed, "Oh my God, you naughty girl. I was wondering why your room was empty. You really did sneak into Xiaoju's room. Hearing Zhao Li's scream, Jiangwan snapped awake instantly. She rubbed her eyes. Mom? What are you talking about? Who snuck into Nanju's room? I didn't. Before she could finish her sentence, Jiangwan suddenly realized she actually was sleeping right next to me. A wave of intense embarrassment flooded her entire body. She frantically shoved me. Nanju, wake up. Stop sleeping. Being violently shaken out of my sleep, I struggled to open my eyes. What are you doing? I'm still sleepy. Jiangwan kept shaking me. Nanyu, my mom's here. Wake up. Stop sleeping. Still, half asleep, I lifted my head and glanced toward the door. The next second my brain screamed, holy shit! I was wide awake instantly. Mom. Then, I looked at Jiangwan, sitting right next to me in bed, completely baffled. She literally fell asleep on the sofa last night. How the hell did she end up in bed with me? Alright you two, get up. It's already 8 am. You need to eat breakfast and get to work. With that, Zhao Li slowly walked out of the room. Jiangwan and I just stared at each other. After a few seconds of silence, Jiangwan scrambled out of bed and bolted toward the door. I sat up straight in bed and started explaining. I have no idea how you ended up in bed. I didn't touch you. When I went to sleep, you were already fast asleep on the sofa. Hearing my explanation, Jiangwan stopped in her tracks. She turned around. You don't need to explain. I know you didn't do anything. I probably climbed into bed myself. I have a sleepwalking issue. Hearing that, my eyes went wide. I found it completely unbelievable. After breakfast, the driver took us to the office. Sitting in the car, I let out a long sigh of relief. Boss Jiang, how was my performance at your house? Jiangwan didn't even turn her head. Not bad. Keep it up. Just a short, blunt sentence. Her tone was ice cold, totally flat. I scoffed. Wow. You get into character way faster than me. And you drop the act even faster. Jiangwan raised a pale finger to her lips, making a shushing motion. Shh. Be quiet. I didn't sleep well last night. I need to catch up on sleep now. Hearing that, I took the hint and shut my mouth. 9 am. Outside the Shanghai Real Estate Group building. Nanyu, I'll get out first. You wait a bit before getting out. Uncle Liu, drive the car a little further down. Then let Nanju out. Jiangwan ordered, calmly. Then, she stepped out of the car. A few minutes later, carrying my briefcase, I proudly walked into the company. I took the elevator, straight to the 8th floor finance department. The second I stepped out, my old boss Zhang Jiao hurried over to me. Nanyu, you're late, again. And today is literally your first day on the job. I scratched my head with an awkward smile. Yao, my bad. Traffic was crazy. Zhang Jiao gave me a disappointed look and rolled his eyes. Then he showed me to my desk and assigned my tasks. The morning flew by. After lunch, I sat at my desk, burping, flipping through my afternoon tasks. Suddenly, my phone on the desk started vibrating uncontrollably. My heart dropped. Is this my mom calling? I picked up the phone to check. Sure enough. Hello, Mom? You little bratty. Look at the group chat yourself. Your dad and I have been blowing up your phone, and you haven't replied to a single thing. My mom's voice was just as loud and explosive as ever. It made me jump in my seat. I hurriedly tried to smooth things over. Mom, let me explain. It's my first day on the job. My workload is insane. I've been so busy I didn't even have time to check my phone. On the other end of the line, my mom clicked her tongue. Son, didn't I tell you? Work is important, sure. But getting married and settling down is way more important. Our family isn't short on cash. As long as you marry a good girl, we can easily support both you and your wife. Hearing my mom talk like some big baller. If someone didn't know us, they'd think we were one of Shanghai's top billionaire families. I literally gasped. Mom, please. What are you talking about? You think I don't know our financial situation? If I don't work, who knows where we'd end up starving? But my mom just let out an impatient scoff. Then she completely changed the subject. All right, enough nonsense. I want you to ask my future daughter-in-law right now what her favorite foods are. My mom's demand caught me totally off guard. And Mom, I was actually going to tell you, my girlfriend. But before I could even finish my sentence, my mom cut me off again. Actually, forget it, son. Right now, add my daughter-in-law to the family group chat immediately. That way, I can just talk to her directly. Alright, that's the plan. Hurry up and add her to the group. The next second, the line went dead. Oh my god, what do I do now? This is a total disaster. Bringing my girlfriend home. I haven't even discussed this with Jiang Wan yet. My mind was in absolute chaos. I couldn't focus on work at all. Finally, I gathered my courage and sent Jiang Wan a WeChat message. Boss Jiang, are you there? I urgently need to talk to you. A few seconds later she replied, what is it? Come up to my office. Holy shit. She actually let me come see her that easily. I paused for a moment, then took the elevator straight up to the CEO's office. When I walked into the CEO's office, Jiang Wan looked up from a massive pile of paperwork. Nan Yu, what do you need? I plastered on a big fake smile. It's about the whole family pressuring us to marry thing. You're safe, for the time being. But, I'm screwed. My mom just called me, demanding I bring my girlfriend home for dinner. And it has to be at night. Hearing that, Jiang Wan instantly sat up straight. Seeing Jiang Wan's slightly shocked expression, I quickly waved my hands. Don't worry. I know there's no way you'd agree to come home with me. What I actually wanted to ask is, could you do me a solid and join my family group chat? My mom is demanding I add my girlfriend right now. Otherwise, she's going to spam call me like crazy. Jiang Wan rested her chin on her hand, thinking for a second. Then she said calmly, fine. Hearing that, I was instantly overjoyed. That's awesome. Thank you, Boss Jiang. I'll add you to the family chat right now. With that, I eagerly pulled up WeChat and dragged Jiang Wan into the group. You're in. Boss Jiang, just a heads up, the group has my parents, so my aunt, my uncle, and my cousin. They're probably going to bombard you with a million questions. Jiang Wan calmly picked up her phone. She glanced at the chat, looking a bit impatient. All right, you don't need to explain everything. If there's nothing else, hurry back to your desk. Hearing that, I immediately dropped my smile. Got it? I'll head back. Back at my desk, I opened WeChat. The group chat was already blowing up. A million questions about Jiang Wan were flying everywhere. I started sweating bullets, scrambling to type out an introduction for her. But surprisingly, Jiang Wan beat me to it and spoke up first. Hi everyone, I'm Nanju's girlfriend. My name is Jiang Wan. After Jiang Wan sent that, the group chat completely exploded again. Welcome to our precious daughter-in-law. The Chen family just hit the absolute jackpot. My nephew is finally bringing a girl home. Sister-in-law is an absolute 10, 100 times prettier than the celebrities on TV. Reading the messages in the chat, the corners of Jiang Wan's mouth instinctively curled into a smile. Then, she casually tapped on a photo sent in the group. The next second, her beautiful eyes lit up. A massive spread of mouth-watering food filled her screen. Looking at it, Jiang Wan couldn't help but swallow hard. Then, Jiang Wan started brainstorming what kind of excuse she could make up to politely decline my family's passionate invitation. Just as she finished typing out her text, about to hit send, a message in the chat suddenly melted her heart. Daughter-in-law, don't be shy. Tell mom and dad what you like to eat. From now on, whenever we cook, we'll completely cater to Wan's taste. Wan is our own daughter. Looking at that message, for a moment, she felt deeply, truly touched. Her eyes got a little misty. Thank you, Uncle and Auntie. Nanyu and I will come home for dinner right after work. I love eating everything. I'm not picky at all. Seeing those two messages from Jiang Wan, I was absolutely stunned. I immediately exited the group chat and jumped back to my private DMs with Jiang Wan. Boss Jiang, are you seriously coming home with me for dinner? Jiang Wan quickly replied, of course, I'm mad. Everything you mentioned is totally fine. Seeing her reply, I let out a massive sigh of relief. At 5:30 p.m., I clocked out of work. After walking a short distance, I finally got into Jiang Wan's ride. Sorry to keep you waiting. Jiang Wan had her arms crossed, sitting calmly in the driver's seat. Tell me your home address. I'll put it in the GPS. Soon the two of us drove to the Chen family courtyard in the West District. The second I opened the car door, my parents rushed right up to us. Oh my goodness. This must be Wan. You are incredibly beautiful. Like an actual angel. My mom, Shen Shuiying, stepped forward and grabbed Jiang Wan's hand. Her eyes were overflowing with pure adoration. Jiang Wan gave a slightly shy smile. Auntie, you're beautiful too. You have such an elegant vibe. Hearing that, Shen Shuiying beamed with absolute joy. Just then, my dad, Chen Shiqian, also stepped up to usher Jiang Wan inside. Wan, you must be hungry. Hurry inside, let's eat. Jiang Wan turned to my dad with a sweet smile. Okay, uncle. Nanyu has been telling me forever how amazing your cooking is. I'm really in for a treat today. Chen Shiqian chuckled happily, his fondness for Jiang Wan completely obvious. Wow, uncle, did you cook all these dishes yourself? Just the smell is making my mouth water. The moment she stepped into the dining room, Jiang Wan couldn't help but gasp in awe. Chen Shiqian smiled so wide his gums showed. He eagerly started introducing all his dishes to Jiang Wan. Shen Shuiying sat right next to Jiang Wan, constantly pushing all the best dishes right in front of her. Meanwhile, on the massive dining table, there wasn't a single plate left in front of me. After eating and drinking to her heart's content, Jiang Wan smiled, completely satisfied. How was it, Wan? Are you full? Shen Shuiying asked warmly, her face glowing with a smile. Jiang Wan nodded emphatically. I'm so full, auntie. I've literally never eaten this much at night before. If I keep eating like this, I'm definitely going to get fat in a few days. Shen Shuiying laughed so hard she leaned back. She couldn't help but take Jiang Wan's hand. Wan, this is exactly how you should be eating. Look at you. You're way too skinny right now. It breaks my heart to see you this thin. Hearing that, Jiang Wan's heart was touched all over again. She looked at Shen Shuiying with genuine sincerity, a stunningly beautiful smile curving her lips. She looked absolutely stunning and incredibly sweet. I know, auntie. Don't worry. At this exact moment, Jiang Wan realized that her smile was coming straight from the heart, even though she had only been at my house for an hour. In that single hour, she had received so much care and love from my parents, so it made her experience for the very first time what it actually felt like to be someone's daughter-in-law. This feeling, if she could just stay with the Chen family forever, that would be amazing.